Hey, Facebook Live. We're doing day 3. Actually, this is round number 4. And today we're talking about role changes. And the biggest one for our relationship with Becky, and I'm looking at the place I'm going in a few minutes, New Earth Market, shopping. In fact, you may hear some noise of carts going by as I do this. Yeah, shopping has changed dramatically. A year ago, actually, when Becky got out of the hospital, a 2-week stint, COVID hit, everything shut down, and we've been very, very cautious with Becky. She's had lung damage, major heart issues. We don't go anywhere except medical stuff, and I go shopping. That's it for the year. And I didn't used to do very much of the shopping at all, mostly because I hunted and Becky explored. I'm sure you know what that's all about if you're, in a relationship and one of you is a hunter and one of you is an explorer in the grocery store. Becky didn't even like me to go with her to the shopping because, body language, whether I liked it or not, looking at my watch, heavy sighs, slumping shoulders. I wanted to be out of there. She was busy looking things over. But for a year now, she hasn't even gone in a store. So I do that all, and we have to accommodate, and I have to learn how to look at things the way she might and make a lot of phone calls when I'm in the store. So that's dramatically changed. And lots of other role reversals may happen depending on the energy level of the person. If one of them's doing finances for the family and that doesn't work anymore, you got to assume that. You got to kind of think that through. And I love. Looked like it glitched there. I hope we're still going. I think of a guy. His name is Mark. I won't give last names, but Mark and Kathy are a good example of, doing what you need to do for role reversals. Mark would do lots of weightlifting because his wife had MS. They were in a old house that they could not go up steps, no elevator. He carried her every night and every morning up and down the steps for years, and he made sure he was able to do that because of exercise. So that was his role, was moving her around the house, in the house they were in. They liked the house, and etc. So you got to kind of think about that kind of thing. There's lots of roles that are shared in a family. It's good that the person who's the care receiver do as much as they can for as long as they can. So they're valuable in the relationship in terms of their contribution. They're valuable in any event, clearly, but it also feels good to be able to contribute. And to help that happen as long as possible is important. But sometimes you got to start assuming some things. You got to check that they're okay with what they're doing. Sometimes they won't want to say that it's too much for them, and so you got to talk that through. Oh, the bottom line is always talk in any of these videos that I'm talking about. I hope you're talking about lots of things with your spouse, with your significant other. Nothing's off the table for Becky and I. We don't know how this thing's going to end. Honestly, it could end for me sooner. There's heart issues in my family. But changing roles over time is an issue that's got to be talked about. And for us this year, the biggest one has been shopping. She's going to be thrilled to go back once COVID's not an issue anymore. I'm just going to be as happy as she is not to have to do it. But the other thing about shopping is, I just thought about this as well. I'm making mental notes, and I'm actually making physical notes in my Evernote account for how Becky likes things. Okay, she can think about that now and take care of it. When she's got no energy left, I got to start thinking about those things, and I got to think about them early, and we got to talk about them, so that, how does she like her hair done? How often to clip nails? Crazy things like that. Think about those ahead of time and have conversations about what are the minimal things that I want if I have to have somebody taking care of me for those things. Those are all role changes that can happen over time. Again, I think we like to think about it as early phase, where Becky and I are in mid phase, and late phase was what you classically think of, late phase with caregiving, when one person is fairly incapacitated because of a disease. But, you got to think about it longer term than that, is our perspective. And hope this helps. We're going to talk about a bunch of other things. I think tomorrow we're going to talk about taking care of yourself as a caregiver. And, drop me some comments and questions if you have questions about what you'd like me to talk about as well, if I'm not covering a subject you're interested in. Or you have things to share about your own thoughts about this. Dive in. I'd love to hear them. And I'm going to go shopping. Take care.